We are live. Ooh, okay, I look a little.
Oh, hold on. I gotta get on YouTube.
Let's see. Maybe I should bring in some more light.
Well, I think there's 4 people here.
Already? Wow. Yeah, let me know. No, I think that's too much light. Let me see. Now I look really white. Here, let me do this. Just a certain time of day where the sun is kind of passing in our backyard a little bit.
Hi, Amy.
I'm not seeing any, hey, Rachel.
Amy's on.
And Amy's on. Wonderful. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. We are doing great. I'm going to try not to shake the table. This table is like a little on the fragile side. I feel like if I push it, it's going to flip right over.
Don't push it.
I won't push it. That's why I don't want to put my hands on the table. Let me know what the temperature's like where you guys are. We are hitting 110 degrees in this next week. Welcome to Vegas weather this summer. It's going to be hot. The thunderstorms, yeah. I actually do love summer storms. It's like one of my favorite things. Hi, Christy. Hi, Anthony. Hey, Deborah. 93. Oh, it's summer, you guys. I was just on Facebook, and they were doing a live stream from Stonehenge, and I thought that was really cool.
Is it Anthony on Juan Carlos or Anthony or Juan Carlos? Danny just texted.
What do you say?
We're...
You guys never. I thought it was about the live.
No.
So I think they were going live because they were showing the summer solstice. So I thought that was pretty cool. Grandma's on. Hello, Diana.
Dew point is 69, 85 and 69. That's pretty humid, Amy.
Oh, yes. I know Isaiah is hitting a lot of humidity. He's over in Outer Banks area, so 88 southern Utah. Oh my gosh, Michelle, that's pretty warm for Oregon, huh? 88?
Not in the summer, no, but it's humid there because it's so coastal, and I think their water table is pretty high too.
Okay. So, Anthony, thank you for asking. We are all doing great. I've been completely doing over my illness for a week and a half now at least. But
before you go, I think we should get up to 45 people. 45
people? Oh gosh, it's practically there. You guys, hit the thumbs up if you can, if you're coming in and liking the live, because we want to tell you about our experiences here. So we are at, thank you guys so much. You are all so amazing.
I'm at 450.
Yes, I could tell everyone is hitting some high heat, it looks like. I'm so happy that you are all here. We love having all of the rollers supporting us, supporting our family. I do YouTube mostly because the Phillips convinced me to do it.
I'm good.
And
somebody asked how I was doing.
Good.
I'm good.
And it's become one way that we can make a little bit of income to help pay for our missionary out on the field. So really, it's not a ton. But the benefits of having an extension of our friends has been priceless. Okay, so I did have to take a COVID test.
Hold on. Katie wants to tell us the sex of her baby.
Yes, please tell us before we get started. Dun, 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 dun. She's expecting. She knows the gender.
Boy.
Is it boy?
Oh, here, let me show it. Boy.
Boy, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Paul is a good name.
I was just going to say, maybe a Paul.
I kid, kind of.
I love your TikToks. Thanks, Anthony. I need to do some more. Okay, so last Friday, I went into the doctor's finally because really I was better. I was all better, but I couldn't smell or taste. And I know I've been mentioning that in some of my videos. So it makes kind of making recipes a little bit more challenging. Although it's starting to come back, I can smell vanilla, I can taste spice, these kinds of things. It's not all the way fully back yet. So last Friday, I went into the doctor's and literally felt like I shouldn't be there because I thought, they think I'm crazy. They think, why is she asking for a COVID test? So they did that, the nostril swab, which if you saw the Binghams,
Yeah,
Brandon Bingham.
Lindsay put on here that he had it.
That was so funny. And that's probably what mine looked like too, except I didn't get the teary eyes. I just got a little bit of a nose burn. And actually that night, I ended up getting a little bit of a bloody nose, but I think I had some sensitivities already in my nose. So that was on Friday. Doctor called me on Tuesday morning. I tested positive for COVID. You guys, how is that possible? So let's talk about this. So I had to call Paul at work and tell him, and what happened at work.
So right now, because of
I know it's not good.
because of the quarantining and just different reasons, I'm working an 11 to 4 schedule, which it's hard to get all my work done in 5 hours. But so I got to work at 11, and then Inez texted me. No, she called me.
I said he needed to know this.
And so I'm at the time I was only one of 2 managers there. And there's one manager that is like the general manager, and then the other 2 of us report directly to him. So anyway, she called me and said, I tested positive, and I had no idea what she was talking about for a second. So in reality, the doctor said that she shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, they thought, "Are you serious?" Because let's talk about the symptoms I did have.
So,
but go ahead and finish your story.
So, she kind of told me the story. I got off the phone with her. I called my boss, who was out of the office at the time, but he was actually on his way back to the office. And I said, "Hey, I think we may have an issue." And I knew I was going to be sent home right away. I said, "My wife just tested positive for coronavirus." He said, "Okay, I need you to go into your computer, put your out of office on. I need you to spray down your desk and lock up, please stop. I need you to lock up your office." Because we just have kind of like a line of offices.
And Paul does have his own office. Like, it's not like he is working with people and lots of...
No.
But so anyways.
So yeah, so I manage everybody outside of my office, but anyway, which maybe a dozen people or so. And so he said, "Don't say anything to anybody.
Don't say anything.
Put your out of office response on your computer." And then he said, "I'm going to get on the phone with HR right now." And our HR, our corporate offices are based in Texas. So he was on the phone with HR, and I was leaving my office and shut the door, and I saw him walking down the hallway, and he walked into his office, and then he kind of motioned for me to stop, just because he was on the phone with her, and he's like, "No, he says he feels fine, shows no symptoms. His wife is pretty much all better. She was, sick for a few days. That was it." And so he talked for maybe 5 minutes while I was kind of in his doorway. And we have to wear masks at work also. So I had my mask on. I was waiting, and then...
Not long. You weren't waiting that long.
No, I was just waiting for him to get off the phone. And then he said, "Okay, I need you to leave and go get tested." And I said, "Okay, if it's negative, can I come back to work?" And he said, "Not for 2 weeks."
Yeah, so now he's home working for the next 2 weeks for quarantining even more. So now... let's talk about symptoms, because I think we are, as a nation, and everybody is super different with the severity of the positive COVID results. We had all of our friends, somebody just said if Tina got tested, she doesn't need to.
We actually purposely, because you know how Ethan and Danny and they have asthma.
They have asthma.
And when we were quarantining at the very beginning, starting back in March, we didn't go around anybody. I mean, that's how everybody was. We didn't go around anybody for a long time until they started loosening the restrictions. And then we do,
We did go over a little bit for some game nights.
We did a couple game nights there, and then but the weekend it was the day after my birthday, and then we were supposed to hang out with friends for another game night.
Well, let's even back up before then, because we had a party for you. We had a birthday party for
We did.
Paul. It
That
was
was
like on a
before-
Saturday, like June 1st.
Well,
that June?
Wednesday was June 3rd, so it was like April 29th or something like that.
No, May 29th.
Yeah, May 29th.
May 29th. So it was that Saturday at the very, very end of the month. And so this is when I had everybody here, and we had a great time. I think what I had done was I pushed myself a little bit much just to get that party ready, which I do all the time, and I love doing it, is when we're putting parties together, I am working nonstop for days getting everything ready, which I love doing. It's not a big deal. But I wonder if I had pushed my immune system a little bit too much, because on Monday, I bet I went somewhere. I went to the store. I go to all these little local stores around here to pick up some groceries, to pick up some lunch, whatever it was around this area. And I don't usually wear a mask. And so I think that's when I picked it up. I don't know who it was. I don't know where I got it, but I don't wear a mask. And so I take responsibility for the consequences of what happens when I don't wear a mask. And so, so that would have been on a Monday. Tuesday, we had some tile delivered to our house from Paul's work. I even shook the driver's hand, and after I did this, I thanked him, shook his hand, and I thought, well, we shouldn't be doing that anymore, huh? Like, didn't even think anything of it. That driver did not get sick. Wednesday was Paul's birthday, and that was the video that we went to Chili's for the first time, went out to eat. It was the very first time we actually went and sat in a restaurant for months. Our waiter had a mask. Everybody was having it was bumping, right? There was a lot of people there.
Yeah, but it was
every other table.
So it was half as busy as full occupancy, but it was still every other table was.
So and then it was Thursday. I had filmed a haul. I made dinner. We talked to Isaiah on the phone, and I could feel my whole body start aching. And I could feel I was getting a fever. And so I turned in early. I went and took a shower, got my pajamas. It was like 7 o'clock, and I was sitting in bed, and I was heating up. And so all night, I had fevers, chills, aches. In fact, I figured out how to get rid of chills. For me, I don't like chills, and so I exercised. Like, I was jumping up and down, like circling my arms, whatever it was, it heated my body up enough to make chills go away. So in case you ever need to know that little tidbit, work your body a little bit to get the chills away. That's how it worked for me. I ended up taking some like over-the-counter medicine, and that helped. So Thursday and Friday, I had aches, pains, and a fever that got up to about 103. And that was pretty much the severity of the aches. Come Saturday morning, and I think some of you may already know this, but we had a snake in our yard, and I think we talked about that on one of our lives. One of our neighbors sent me a text and was like, "You have a big snake in your yard," and I'm like, "Holy moly!" I was still really sick, so I just kind of stood by the front door. Paul grabbed it. Okay, so this whole time from Thursday evening on, I did not let my kids go outside. Paul's, with the exception of going to work, came straight home. We did not leave the house. We started ordering groceries in. I did not leave at all. And so come Saturday, the snake was in the yard. We had people over to help us in the front yard. I did not get close to them. In fact, I even wasn't feeling well, so I went back inside and just rested. And you guys, all I did was I still had appetite. I was still hungry, and I drank Gatorade. I think I drank like Gatorade Light or whatever for a few days.
Yeah, the Gatorade Zero.
Yeah, and plus a lot of water. So I just rested and whatever. So I was feeling better by Sunday, although I did have stomach issues to the point where I couldn't keep anything in. So then it started making sense. I have a stomach bug. Like, that's what I thought. like, because I had aches and fever, and now I was having a tummy issue, and now I know it's a tummy bug. So by Tuesday, so now that was Saturday, Sunday, I have tummy issues. Monday night, Tuesday morning, I developed a very light, dry cough that was very light, like clear my throat, kind of, no congestion, no problems breathing. By Tuesday night, I couldn't smell or taste. Thought that was weird. I did. I'm like, that's weird. And I knew that was a COVID symptom. So I sent an email to my doctor. They didn't write me back for a couple of days. So they said, if you want a test, come in on Friday. So I came in on Friday and I explained it all to the doctor. And she looked at me like, I don't really think you have COVID, but let's go ahead and give you the test. So that was Friday. And like you said, Tuesday, I got my results. That was this Tuesday. My kids have not been outside for like 8 days until Saturday. So I took the COVID test on Friday. They were like, please, you're better. Like, can we go outside? I let them go out for 1 hour. And then on Monday, they went out for a couple hours because the neighbors were playing video games on their front porch. So I let them go out for 2 hours. And then Tuesday morning, they went out for about an hour. Now, Ezra was riding bikes. You know, they're not like going into people's houses or anything like that. Okay, and I was better. So when I got the test back and it was positive, the doctor said, let's talk about these symptoms again, because I think they wanted to make sure everything in my report, so to say, was up to date. And she still couldn't believe it. No congestion, no cough, no problems breathing. So she thought I had a stomach bug. And then so she agreed, no, very mild case. Very mild case. And I know a lot of you probably know somebody who is probably dealing with it a lot worse than this, or maybe you don't know anybody and you have seen on the news the death rates, the congested hospitals, whatever it is, everything's on the rise. Okay, so I learned some things. After the doctor called me and said, you have it, 2 weeks of quarantine required, which I completely respect. And I said, but I'm better. So should that count from the date of my first symptoms? She said, no, it starts from the date that you swab for your test. So that's my symptom. That's what I need to tell you guys is if you have symptoms, go as soon as possible, because the 2 weeks start from the time that you get the test. Also, if you are exposed, so I told the neighbor kids, parents, and they actually went and got tested. The neighbors across the street got tested, and everybody's negative so far. Is it okay? So I up to this point.
Are you online, Cope?
Is it going? Can everybody hear me?
Go kick Jonas off of YouTube upstairs, please.
Lost ya. Am I back? Am I back? Tell me when I'm back. We'll wait a second. It's lagging. Okay, I'll wait. You can hear me. Awesome, Michelle. I'm so glad you guys can hear me. Yes, yes. Back now. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. So up to this point, I have been in the house since June 4th. I will be in the house respecting quarantine and now Paul's quarantine until June 30th.
No.
Go ahead.
I don't have my results back yet, but I got swabbed on Tuesday. So I was hoping it'd be a 3 to 4 day turnaround. We called the doctor yesterday. They still didn't have my results. Called them again this morning because they're open today.
Not yet.
And they still didn't have them, so I'll call again on Monday. I have no symptoms at all. None of the kids have any symptoms. They actually told us don't get the kids tested.
Because there's no symptoms.
Yeah, if I'm positive, then
we may get Kobe tested only because he's more of an adult. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I think what we're gonna our next plan of action is in about a month or so is just to go get us all tested for antibodies. so that way we can see. Is Amy still here? Is
Amy,
that
yes.
is that something we should consider doing, Amy? I know you're in the medical field. Should we all, like even the kids, get tested for antibodies? I think that's a blood test, and so that's kind of a good thing. So let me know your opinion about that, Amy.
But that as far as the test goes, I know when Brandon Bingham got tested, he did it online, which was, it's a pretty good representation of the test. So I came home and on my way home, my Nez had made an appointment for me with the doctor so I could come home from work that I got sent home from.
Okay, thanks, Amy.
And I sat down for maybe an hour or so, and then I had to drive into where our doctor is, and right before I left, I said, "Oh, it's painful. It hurts."
Because my nostril was already sensitive. Because I do have allergies, you guys.
And I was like, thank you for that. It's like going into surgery and somebody saying, "Oh, it's
gonna hurt.
You're gonna be miserable." And
kind of like Mindy, what she did to Brandon. I mean, she was kind of like,
whoever did it doesn't make it right. I don't care. So she's like, "Oh, it hurts. It's painful." And I was like, "Oh, great, thank you." And so then I go and they called me back in the doctor's office, and I wore a mask, and probably required. I just did. They didn't tell me I had to. I just did. And she came in and said, "Okay, this is gonna be awful." I was like, "Okay, just do it," and leaned my head back, and she stuck the swab in, which, like, you saw the Bingham swab, and it's not pleasant. It wasn't painful. It wasn't pleasant, and I don't want to do it over and over and over again. I mean, if I had to do it daily, it wouldn't be a big deal, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't painful. For about 10 seconds, my sinus, my nose were felt a little irritated, but then it was done, and then I basically, the doctor came in and said, "Okay, go home, start your 2-week quarantine," and
I'm just grateful that Paul is still able to work from home. I have not been able to work since March. I was going to do a summer session for my class, and I don't really think that people will even come, honestly. So
I think I really appreciate the company I work for and the boss that I have, because it's funny when you have a boss who's younger than you by about 10 years or so or more. It doesn't mean he doesn't deserve the same amount of respect, because I've been a manager for over 20 years now, and I remember being a brand new manager and having people who were 50 and 60 reporting to me, and you could tell that there was kind of some age concerns on their side, where they didn't like taking direction from a young 20-year-old, 23, 24-year-old. But I kind of appreciate that. I appreciate my boss, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to find you a laptop so you can work at home and you can do certain things at home, and that way we can still pay you." And if not, that for that 2 weeks, I have a lot of vacation. I would have used my vacation, but I don't have to because of that. So it was a blessing.
Somebody just said that they watched the ads during the videos and they hoped it helped. Yes, you guys, it does help, because that's where the income comes, is watching the ads. So I know sometimes they're like, 20 seconds, sometimes they're 5 seconds, sometimes they're 2 minutes, I don't know. So it just depends, but if you do watch them, they do help us. And right now, YouTube's been very, weird. Like, you guys know, the Phillips had a channel deleted. Like, why? Like, that doesn't make any sense. YouTube has a lot of control and a lot of power, and we're just all creators trying to put out videos and information, or whatever it is, teachable moments for people to enjoy, and they are really if that was the income was like a cheese grater, they're just taking their creators and just grating them, because
And a lot of that has to do with advertisers aren't paying as much right now because everybody's on tightened budgets. So it's not totally a YouTube thing as much as...
Well, you were hoping that it's not.
Yeah, I mean, basically YouTube's around because there are creators. And it wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to bite the hand that feeds them, so to speak, because it's it's definitely a symbiotic relationship with the creators, where creators create, put it on YouTube. YouTube reaps benefits for having the traffic, having advertisers pay them, and then the creators get a fraction of that advertisement, which is nice because sometimes it makes ends meet, and we are by far from well off, so it's not like we have a lot of disposable income. So not that we're hurting or anything, but just
It's summers for us are usually a little more uncomfortable because I'm not working, but I normally do like some summer sessions, and that kind of gives us some extra income. That's probably not going to happen this year, so it feels a little more uncomfortable. But I'm still grateful, totally grateful that Paul is still working for sure.
yeah, definitely a huge blessing.
Some people were saying they love the mukbang. Good, because since we're home, that's kind of what we're doing. Like we have things delivered, or I just pay for it on my app and they just put it in the back or something like that.
Thank you, Mom.
There's just a lot that you could do. Thank goodness, with not having any interactions with people, which I completely am grateful for. So I think we're planning another mukbang this week. I am still going to have hauls delivered, so now you know why I'm having hauls delivered. Just because I didn't want to pass a virus, and now that I know that I'm COVID positive, I'm following more quarantine. And like Paul said, I was the only one. So let me tell you, people might be wondering if I have any pre-existing conditions. I do take a prescription for high blood pressure. That's kind of a genetic thing, and also a cholesterol type thing. Not my cholesterol's fine. It's the other cholesterol. So those I do take 2 prescriptions for in the last year for that. So maybe that's why I got it. I don't know. And also, I do notice that people on Facebook are very extreme. Wear the mask, or I'm healthy, I don't want to wear the mask. So that is all fine if you're healthy and fine. The masks do contain little spit particles coming in and out. It's not like the best form to stay healthy, but it is probably one of the safer routes to stay if you want. But if you're going out without a mask, then you're putting yourself in danger of getting exposed, or at least contracting the virus. Now, if you feel like that is your personality, you will take full responsibility and be responsible after the fact to make sure you follow quarantine guidelines and all of that. That's your decision. If you're also thinking about the other person who may have a grandmother who has cancer, or a child who has cancer at their home, they should be wearing a mask in the store. That's my thought about that. So I think from now on, now one of the things that I kind of felt, I told my friends this on a text, is when the doctor told me that, she kind of explained the guidelines and what I need to be doing, and that she wants me to call. Thank you, Mary, so much. Yes, we're talking about it. I am COVID positive. And it's kind of, I'm giggling about it because I have no more symptoms. Like, I was sick for about 5 days from June 4th through the 9th, and I still tested and I have it. So we're stuck at home until the end of the month, pretty much. Paul also is home, working from home. None of our friends have had it. None of my kids have gotten it. Neighbors across the street on our block have tested for it. They're negative, with the exception of one. Test hasn't come back. Paul's test hasn't come back. He has no symptoms, so I'm not sure it would come back positive unless you're asymptomatic.
Which is really a bummer, because Kobe and I have been going to the gym a lot, and it's been like I have been feeling so good over the last week, and then as soon as she tested positive, we stopped, just because we we didn't want to do, just be a carrier for anything. And so in the gym we go to is, they have every other treadmill blocked off and weights, and you can only do certain weights if other people aren't in that area. And it's not a big gym at all, but it's the first time I've worked out in like 3 years, and I was feeling great.
Amy just said there are lots of people carrying this asymptomatically. You guys, that's no joke. Like, for people to be walking around and having no symptoms, I think it's very possible that people are doing that. So that could be very well how I got it. As soon as I showed symptoms, and some people may be just barely joining us, I'm going to quickly go over them really fast.
I was just going to tell them to go back and watch the beginning.
I'll just really quickly. Thursday night, I had aches, pains, high fever, up to 103, Thursday and Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I had a tummy issue. Like, every time I ate something, I had a tummy issue. We'll just go with that. I thought I had a stomach bug. On Tuesday evening, I developed no smell. I had no more smell and no more taste. And I had a very light cough, like a clear my throat type cough. I rested the whole time. I made my kids stay inside. Paul, with the exception of just going to work and coming home, stayed inside as well. So we pretty much were just homebound. My kids were not playing. They were actually inside Bye, James. They were inside for at least 8 days before I let them play outside. Last Saturday for an hour, Monday for a couple hours, Tuesday for a couple hours, Tuesday morning. So I got the COVID test last Friday. Tuesday this week, I got the results positive. Paul has been working from home since Tuesday. He's still waiting for his results. No symptoms. I've had no congestion, no coughing, no problems with breathing, and I have been better since pretty much June 9th. So I hope that's not too confusing. I know Katie has also has the coronavirus. How are you feeling, Katie? Let us know.
And one of the blessings from all of this is, besides spending more time with family, obviously, is my garage is getting super clean. I mean, like, my tools are organized, things are getting cleaned.
Same thing with our house. I'm inside. Every day I kind of clean something else or do some more laundry or getting things in order. Just this week, I've been able to film more videos. I was just telling Paul, I already have 3 ready to go for next week. So that's kind of like, I do a lot of my videos on the weekend. So like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I will like do a lot of videos just because I have more downtime, or Paul's home, he could help with that.
Yeah, hold on one sec.
Yeah.
Saving and selling, was the test as bad as people say? For me, it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't that bad either. It just burned my nostril after the fact, and I did get a bloody nose that night.
And then Belinda asked, is Kobe staying home from work as well? Kobe's been laid off since this all started, so he is home. He's on unemployment. He was supposed to actually start working yesterday, right?
I think it was last. Well, he did have a week off. They did start at the beginning of June. He said that because we were planning to go out of town, we were just talking, making some discussions on going out of town. So he did kind of just tell work that he'd be about another week. So yeah, it was supposed to be this past week. He was supposed to start, and then he called them and been like, my mom's sick and got a COVID test and it's positive. So now he has to wait until the end of the month. So I'll talk. I mean, he's got no symptoms at all either. Let's see. Last week, patient. Amy just wrote something about a patient.
She said that a patient had a baby and hasn't been able to hold her for 3 weeks after.
I've read stories about these kinds of things, Amy. How heartbreaking.
Yeah, a friend of mine from high school actually put a picture up on Facebook. It said, we finally got to meet our grandson, which is weird that somebody my age has a grandson. I think my mom was a grandma at 42, though.
That's young.
So, anyway, so I was like, dang, we're old, and we were kind of typing back and forth and laughing about memories, but But he, in the pictures with his grandson, he had a mask on, and so I was like, yeah, this is kind of how things are right now, I guess.
So somebody, Amy says it could be up to 5 weeks. Now, Amy, I have been seeing some documents flying around that can reverse that a tiny bit. So that's an option, I think, for some areas. So that's all very sad. Home birth? Anybody? I don't know. So I was just going to say something else about all of this. Maybe it'll just come to me.
Hi, Melissa.
Do you guys have any questions about it all? Because literally I was a bit nervous about all of this. Oh, I was going to say, yes, it's an inconvenience. Yes, you know, being on quarantine, if you are exposed, is an inconvenience. It has been an inconvenience for our family as well. Kobe was supposed to be able to walk at his graduation. He could not do that.
That was on Friday.
That was, yeah, just yesterday.
Yesterday.
I was upset about it, saddened. Like, Kobe was also supposed to have a graduation party this next week. That has been canceled and postponed.
Our friend Amber had a
birthday party.
Her son had a birthday party.
We couldn't go.
And
obviously.
Yeah. But the other blessing, besides having a clean garage and a clean house, is you really know who your friends and your family are. Not just your family by blood, but the people who you consider your family, who are your friends. Because we've had, Tina brought stuff over for Inez and you know, she knocked on the door, I opened it, she handed me the stuff she brought for Inez, and then she waited at the door. They talked for a few minutes while Inez
I was at least 10 feet away from her.
At least 10 feet.
And she was at the door, and we were just like, honestly, I was like, I'm feeling better. Like, thank you so much. She's like, what are you craving? And I told her purple penguin, and I was craving a cupcake. So this was like right about the time I was starting to lose my taste and smell. Oh, Ezzy's here. And so she came over with my favorite. I didn't even have to tell her. She knew exactly what my favorite one was. And I was like, that it was the best. Like, that's the best feeling.
But then our friend Lene just today was texting Inez and said, I'm going to Costco. What do you need? And
so I had her bring a couple of, she dropped off a couple things, and I Venmo'd her.
We had the garage open. We said, just put it over here on this, and we'll pick it up. And she did. And my dad even.
He's been so sweet. He brings you sodas.
Yeah, because I can't go get a soda. So my dad knows that I normally get a soda on my way to work, just like a super big gulp or whatever from 7-Eleven. So a couple of mornings he's when he gets a soda, this is probably where I got the habit from.
He's the same, but he was probably there getting his own.
Well, he does. He gets his own, and then he doesn't live very far from us at all. So he knocks on my door, and I can tell his knock. You know, he knocks, rings the doorbell a couple of times, then backs up. I'll open the door. We'll talk for like 5 minutes while he's like maybe 10 feet away, and that's it. So he's been doing that, and I appreciate it because, man, I crave a good Diet Coke in the morning.
So I am starting to smell things. Like yesterday, I made something with vanilla. I could smell that. I made something today that had a little bit of a kick and spice. I could start tasting that.
There's going to be a video for it.
Yeah, so I'm not telling you. I'm just giving you some hints. So you guys expect those videos coming out this week. We'll probably do another mukbang just because we'll have it probably delivered, or at least go pick it up and have them put it in the car contactless. We'll also have another grocery haul delivered, probably a couple more times. And so at least you'll know that's exactly what we're doing. Somebody asked me when our quarantine is up, and that is the end of June. So June 30th, I believe. So Paul can get back to work July 1st. I'm not sure if he'll have to take another test to see if it's positive or not. I have no idea. I guess we'll have to wait to see what his business says. But you guys, everybody's been super healthy.
What's your crew's name?
Josh.
Josh, that's awesome. And Nancy, yes, she was positive.
Yes, I was positive. And I did not have any congestion, any coughing, any problems with my breathing. I know that there are lots of people that are dealing with that part and portion, which my heart goes out to.
And we actually go to church with a lady whose mom has been on a ventilator for like 2 months.
Yeah, and so she's a little older.
She's older, probably in her 60s or 70s or something. We don't know exactly how old she is, but I mean, it makes me feel good that we're at least healthy enough to be able to combat it, or at least our bodies are built to combat it. You know, and each individual is going to be different.
You know, that's a very good question, Amy. If my doctor reaches out to me and asks me to do that, I will totally donate plasma to help. Because I feel like that my case was so mild.
Oh, Michelle, stop.
What did she say?
She might have been talking about Ezra, but she's a cute boy you got there.
I know, I'll say that to Paul. I'm like, I'll say, hey, cutie, to Ezra, and he's like, oh, hi. He's so quick. I feel like when my doctor said, this is it, this is what you have, and you're good to go, I kind of felt like I had a little bit of a relief there, because now I don't have to worry about, you know, do I get the vaccine or not? I will check for antibodies first before I start like feeling completely at relief. But I just feel like isn't this kind of, if we could all get it this way, wouldn't this be like the easiest way to build our own immunities? And I will say, I've had other flus, like I know I've had influenza that kicked my butt for weeks. I've had strep throat that made me so sick for days. That was so hard. I've had stomach bugs that were harder than what I dealt with. So for what I dealt with, I feel very blessed that it was so mild.
Oh, I think Tina and Danny are on. Well, we miss you guys too, man.
Oh, I miss you guys. Bam, bam, whoop, whoop.
It sucks. I mean, it sucks staying at home, and it sucks not having people to hang out with.
Yeah.
Like Danny and I were texting earlier about the UFC fights tonight, and I'm like, it's so much more fun to watch fights with Danny because I feel like we both have an amount of knowledge where we can share.
It's their thing for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But we can kind of go back and forth on the fighters, and a lot of times we agree, and there's times we don't agree, but at least I think we respect each other's opinions in the fight game enough to. And I did some martial arts, and he did some martial arts, so. Different martial arts, but we both did it, so I think we both have a healthy respect for it too. So I really miss hanging out with the Phillips.
Oh, I miss everybody, honestly. Definitely the Phillips, for sure. Somebody just asked me if it's expensive to get these tests. We'll see when the insurance sends the bill.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume I'm gonna call the insurance and talk to them and see what this entails, like for the antibodies test. Because Jen Bowles just said it costs $150 for her. I know. And
I paid a $35 copay already.
Oh, you went and did that? Because when I went to go get my test, I left the mask on and I said, can I just be billed? Because I just didn't want to do any like contact, knowing that I wasn't feeling all that great. And even though I've recuperated, I was there for COVID tests. I just didn't want to like touch anything or touch anybody. So she's like, oh, of course we'll bill you. So I'm sure a big old bill is coming our way. So let's see.
And there's a lot of people saying Happy Father's Day.
You guys.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
I feel bad because I can't leave the house to go get something. And I would have gotten a little something for him. But we'll postpone it for maybe like a couple weeks and do something special for Dad. What?
Clean the garage.
Oh, but it's already cleaned. Silly.
Not all the way.
Not all the way? Oh. So, I don't know. Did you see him with his little eyebrow? He went, like that little twitch. He has been really into organizing lately and dusting and cleaning. Ezra's been quite the little helper with cleaning lately, so.
Yeah, he spent like 3 hours out there with me cleaning
I heard somebody that got the
first day
test and was told they were already carrying
I have to fold in the towels.
Can just what?
Yeah. And the other thing is when I got my test, hold on, I'll go
Just
back.
from the rest. Oh, yeah.
So when I got my test, Inez sent me with questions, asked the doctor, like, do we need to get retest? Do we need to do this? Do we need to do this? And so I asked, and it was a little bit foggy, I guess. I don't think that there's like a clear path that doctors know what to follow yet, or at least ours didn't seem to. Because I asked her and I said, okay, so is there a time when we need to come back and get retested? And she's like, well, I said, what about the antibodies test? Because I didn't get a straight answer. She said, well, you know, if you got it and your body works like it should, then you're building antibodies right now. Oh, I think we might be
Buffering.
Yep. Yeah, we are.
So I think we buffered, so I'll say it again. So she said, if your body's working like it should, you're building antibodies right now, and you'll have antibodies. But if you want to confirm that, you can take the test. And I was like, well, then we have to take it again, spend more money to get it done. You know, everything is so expensive anymore. So we're just like, my thought when I left there was after the 2 weeks, and I think we're good because, I mean, we're somewhat healthy, so our bodies are, I'm sure, building
Bye,
antibodies.
Charles.
So, anywho.
Yeah, so somebody just said that their understanding is they quarantine until they test negative.
Oh, that might be, and maybe we have to go back after the 2 weeks, and my company may even say, hey, before you come back to work, we want you to test and get negative until you're negative, unless mine comes back negative, which I honestly, unless I'm totally asymptomatic, I have no symptoms. I feel great. I don't have any issues at all. Nothing.
Yeah, and same thing for me. I'm just like, I feel fine now. I feel great. I was actually quite surprised it came back positive. I thought I had a tummy bug, you guys. So, and in the meantime, even though it was a tummy bug, I was responsible. I kept the kids in until for a week or 8 to 9 days where they were stuck in the house. And then I finally let them out from Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Ouch. Tuesday, I got my result, and I was like, oh. So I had to tell the neighbors that they were playing by, you know, and then I know they got tested. The neighbors across the street got tested. And so that's another thing about exposure. Call your doctor if you've been exposed and follow what their suggestions are. But honestly, I would just do like a soft quarantine if you feel like you've been exposed for a few days, and then wait to see if you get any symptoms. Then go get a test. But if your doctor says come in, let's give you a test right away, that of course follow what your doctor says. But I think as for adults, I think adults should get tested. Talk to your doctor about getting children tested, because our doctor wasn't like that. Was if they're not showing symptoms, they shouldn't get tested. So, but every doctor may be a little bit different, and I definitely think that adults should go before a child to get tested in these situations, because from what we've been all reading, they only get like a under 2% chance of actually getting the virus anyways. That doesn't mean that they probably can't build antibodies, which is probably better that they do. But anyways, you guys, that's why we wanted to get on today and explain. I've had some texts from our neighbors, just some people from church. And so if they're watching this, we're doing great. We are being responsible quarantiners. But all of it is inconvenient. It sucks for us. And it's not been super easy, but we understand it all.
I think it's Tina on the Phillips Family on Foodies said, you've been super responsible with it all. You can be incredibly careful and still get it. You've handled it like a championess.
Oh, look, I'm frozen. There. Aw, thanks, Tina and Dana. Oh, jeez, Louisa. Can you guys hear me? Did I come back? Can you hear Inez? Yes. Can you hear me? Back. Boo, frozen. Am I back? Yes. I'm just going to close out, you guys, because I might get kicked off again. But you guys, I'm so grateful. You guys have all been like caring about us, asking about how we're doing, wishing me well. As you can see in the videos, I have been doing pretty good. And with the exception of a couple of weeks ago, I only had 2 of the 3 videos up. That's because I was sick that weekend. And so that's why I only had 2 of the 3 videos. So you guys, but up to this point, I am doing awesome. Like I said, we're gonna quarantine carefully. We're gonna be responsible. I also think, like, as you know, people that are not feeling well and also that might be exposed, you know, we all need to be kind, and it would be better if we could be kind. Not have tons of rumors, not be spiteful.
Amazon Inez, somebody said.
Amazon?
order everything from Amazon, I'm guessing.
Oh, that would be awesome. And just be like, you know, there's so many like changes that are happening, whether it's going to church, everything's on hold, you know, things that happen in large groups, things that might need to be adjusted or shifted. And yes, it's not ideal, like, you know, having not a graduation and then having a quick graduation, and then, you know, it's not the ideal situation, but just trying to be flexible and mindful that there are lots of people working to try to fix these situations, or families who are affected just as much and wish they weren't. But right now, this situation feels lonely, and it makes my head like spin in wheels of like, what are people saying about us as a family? And all I keep remembering is somebody gave it to me, and I'm hoping that by us being responsible in all of this, that it stops or it slows down a little bit, because I'm not trying to put people on a ventilator or trying to, you know, send my kids out and go in people's houses. And however, if that is you're letting your kids go play in people's houses, or you're letting your families get together with friends and stuff, you know, different people are exposed to different things, and there are responsibilities that come from that. So, you know, there is, just be mindful and have grace, I think.
Tina loves you so much.
And I love you so much too, Tina. I can't wait till we can all get together with the friends.
What's Mina? Oh, Mina. Mina, she tested positive for COVID. So.
I did, and we've been going for almost an hour. I wasn't expected to talk this much, and I'm so grateful for the 98 of you that have stuck it through. If you haven't given this video a thumbs up, that just lets YouTube, or make a comment after on the replay. That shows engagement to YouTube, and hopefully will also recommend me more in the future. So I appreciate you guys so much. If you have questions on the replay, go ahead and put them down below so that I can answer them, because I'll see them as a upload. Also, if you want to send me an email, I'm at howinezrolls@gmail.com. I know that I've had a couple people send me direct messages on Instagram, and I just appreciate all of you and all of your well wishes. We'll let you guys know about Paul's results. We'll have fingers crossed, but honestly, if he got positive with no symptoms, that would be kind of a blessing too in disguise, I think.
Yeah, maybe next Saturday we'll reveal those.
Huh, we can do that. We'll reveal that next Saturday,
thank you all for the Father's Day wishes. I appreciate it. It's like the greatest honor ever to be a father, and to be Inez's husband.
Aww. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and stick around. You just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Bye, everybody. Don't forget to kiss your... Let's see. Bye, you guys. Oh, wonderful. Bye, Belinda and Lisa and Michelle. Lisa, Roximmer, let's see, Cynthia, Lorena. Thank you guys so much. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Grandma. We'll be seeing you sometime in the hopefully next month, hopefully. Bye, Dancy. Is that right? Katie, feel better too, sweetie. Bye, Vicky.
Katie, Paul's an awesome name, by the way. It's even biblical.
Bye, Janice. Bye, Anthony.